forecourt of the Opera House on a bright autumn day. Huge crowds and impressive music from the Sydney School Symphonic Wind Ensemble. The high school dancers were pretty impressive too. Though the prince found them a shade embarrassing. And the princess's expression was rather harder to read. Afterwards, the great crowd sang the national song, Advance Australia Fair. The princess knew some of the words. Her husband, like many Australians, needed prompting from the programme. The Prince made 5 speeches in 2 days in New South Wales. They're very much into speeches here. His theme in all of them was his delight in introducing his wife and son to his old and valued Australian friends.
Old because it is now 17 years, believe it or not, since I first set foot as a hesitant Pom. Now I am returning with my wife and my son, and it is indeed as if I were introducing them to old friends. My wife has been enveloped by warmth and affection since arriving in the red heart of this great continent. And now she is experiencing the sort of welcome that this famous city can bestow on its visitors.
That night there was a charity ball at one of the big hotels, and the princess demonstrated that she is unique among royals in her capacity to generate a pop star-style welcome. This was the event in the Sydney social calendar. If you weren't invited to this one, you were an outcast, and people were prepared to pay up to $300 to avoid that fate. For the first time, the Prince allowed television cameras in to watch him dancing, which was nice. But what we didn't know was that he was about to stage his own royal version of Come Dancing. Then the social set moved in, determined to have a chat. The princess was embarrassed, but by now the couple were a sitting target. With this sort of crowd, Dame Edna Everage had to be down there somewhere. The next day in Newcastle, New South Wales' second city, they once again displayed their private affection in a public place. And when the very small children performed their exercises to music, the tunes were so catchy they had to join in. There were 43,000 children in this stadium, and the prince decided to tell a few jokes. Unfortunately, one of them, about bringing up Prince William on warm milk and kangaroo meat, got him into trouble. So much so, he had to put the record straight later.
But you won't believe it, but ever since then, we have been deluged with letters, telegrams, and telephone calls saying, how dare you bring up your child on minced kangaroo? So I just wanted to put the record straight that we don't feed him on minced kangaroo. I was attempting a joke. One thing I thought Australians have is a sense of humor, but anyway. In fact, we bring him up on grass and beer.
In this next sequence, watch the princess's face.
Ladies and gentlemen, the last time I was here was 2 years ago, in 1981, shortly before we were married. And at that time, everybody was saying, good luck, and I hope everything goes well, and how lucky you are to be engaged to such a lovely lady. And my goodness, I was lucky enough to marry her. And we had many, many messages. It's amazing what ladies do when your back's turned.
The theme of this second week has really been the princess's rapidly growing popularity. There's been plenty of physical contact, and the children now seem to have rewritten the rules of the walkabout, or at least made it clear that the rules don't apply to them. They can go anywhere. Sometimes they hunt in packs, zeroing in on the target with their bouquets. The end product is always the same, masses and masses of flowers. Some are passed on to the lady in waiting, some to a policewoman. By the end of the day, they will find their way to local hospitals. Of course, for the very young, it's all a bit bewildering. You've got to attract her attention, they spin you round, you've got to make the delivery, you've got to remember where to run back to. It's not easy. And there are times when it's all just too much. And only a good weep will provide comfort. Mind you, it was quite nice when that princess lady said, agony over.